Hi all, I just made an add-on in Blender that allows me to make patterns from the same shape. So the patterns will randomly reproduce and they will only use the actual face. They will connect exactly to the face. So they will be tessellated, in other words. You'll see. If I go up to here and I go to Preferences and I'm going to find the add-on. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to go to Install from Disk. Here's the add-on. Here's the working add-on. I'll just install that. Remember the name, Snap Face. So this should be somewhere in the add-ons now, Snap Face, and you can see that there. So it's been nicely made in vibe coding. Now I can just join the left to the right to make just one screen. Now I press N and you can see down, it's got Snap Face. So if I delete this, some bugs in it, I don't think I'm going to debug it because it's doing everything I need. I installed the extra objects in Blender so I can use some really cool shapes. I'm going to go to, what I like to do is math functions. So these are the kind of shapes that I want to use, regular solid. And then I'm going to go to, say, octahedron. No, I won't do octahedron, I'll do dodecahedron. So now it's like this. So all I do in the add-on, you've got this little panel here that comes up. I'm going to go to edit mode. I select one of the faces, come out to object mode, and then I can increase this and decrease this, and ta-da, it'll make a nice tessellated pattern, a random pattern. The reason why I want to do this is for my art, so I want to use these as reference shapes, experiment with patterns that I like, and then actually I'm using traditional methods such as drawing and painting, so I'm going to sort of use these on screen to copy them out with pencil and paper using old school methods because I like to do that, sort of a tradigital workflow. And you can expand and contract it. There's a few bugs, I don't think I'll bother ironing the bugs out, but you can see that works quite well. So now if I make another shape, so I'm going to go to, let's make something else. The maths functions shapes are really good. So I'm going to click on regular solid and I'm going to change that to say something else like tetrahedron. Let's just move that out of the way. So now it's a kind of pyramid shape. And again, I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm going to choose polygon, select that one. And then I'm going to go to object mode. And then I just can increase and decrease the distance. See, it tessellates really nicely. So it only grows out on the faces. So all the objects are snapped exactly to the faces. And there's not really any overlapping of the objects. So I made sure that none of it was overlapping. This is quite a cool thing you can do. You can't really go back. If you go back to here, it has a bug problem because then both of them grow. But that's okay. I'm not going to debug it because it gives me everything that I need. If you want to download it, I'll include the code in the blog attached to this video. And there you go. So that's how you do it. So now let's quickly look at the vibe coding of this. So in the vibe coding, I use Gemini, and you can see that there's loads of changes and things that I made. So I made a list here of what I did to debug. So firstly, it had kind of rotational drift. As the objects got further away, the shape started to rotate for some reason. I added collision detection well, AI did this for me. It did something called a BVHTree collision system. So it stopped the shapes intersecting each other. I implemented a real-time slider. So firstly, the slider didn't allow me to make it shrink and grow. So this allowed me to shrink and grow it. So it enabled live shrinking and growing. So all in all, it was a good success. There's a few bugs here. The code's copied on the blog. If you go to the blog in the link in this video description, and then you can try it out yourself as well. If I scroll up, you can see all the different iterations I did. It wrote out the code. I flipped between Gemini and Claude, basically because my credits run out, so I don't really pay for AI at the moment because I don't really see the need to, because I can get this done. I can copy the code and take it to Claude. I think Claude's very good for programming. I haven't tried some of the other ones out there that are specifically for programming, but this does the job in a way. So again, I'm going to come back to Blender, and again you can see the nice patterns that it makes. I'll try again one more. So I'll do Shift and Add. Let's again go to the nice math functions regular solid. Let's try to choose another shape. Perhaps this one. I'm going to go to edit mode, select a face, come to object mode, and then increase the target distance, and ta-da, it does that. if I crank it up too high, the frame rate starts to drag. So why didn't I use geometry nodes for this? Well, I really find geometry nodes a problem because once I programmed this, well, once AI, got me to program this, then I asked Gemini how could this be made using geonodes in Blender. So those of you who don't know, geonodes is a sort of a very, very complex, well, it can be very complex way to do things, and you make kind of nodes, and it's very procedural. But I just wanted this result because now I can copy, I can use this as a sort of copy reference to draw, to draw in my pencil and paper, old school. I can even print this out, but geonodes will allow you to sort of tweak the nodes, as it were. But I tried and tried. I'm not literate. I know some geometry nodes. I'm literate in Blender, but I don't know geometry nodes. I tried to get Gemini to make screenshots, and it hallucinated, and it was just giving me a headache. So I just thought, yeah, I'll go with this. And this is another lesson to, if it gives you the result, why go and do something more complex? I hope you enjoyed this, and what could you use this for? I think it's quite useful, and there may be an add-on or plugin, or a script out there already that did this, but I did have a search and I couldn't find one, so I made my own using vibe coding. Vibe coding is great for people like me that more on the sort of art creation side. I can actually delete some of these. I've had a go, I've looked at Python and things like that and gone through some books. I know the basics, but then again, I like to do it like this now. Anyway, have a go at this if you want. You can get the code on my blog in the link, and remember to subscribe and comment on this. Do you think this is good, or do you think this is bad using AI, etc.? Anyway, apart from any discussions like that, I really hope you can use this code to help you, and this is in Blender 5.2, so try and use this version or above, and let me know any bugs that you have and I'll try to correct them, or you can as well because the code's on the blog. Tune in for more soon. Bye for now.